Have you ever missed the life before the pandemic wherein you can freely travel anywhere you want to go? I knew it. Anyway, allow me to introduce myself first. I am Christine Jean Natividad, a junior student from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. This SEM, I am taking the subject NRC 131 or the Fundamentals of Ecotourism. For our final project in the course, we were tasked to choose only one from our modules and create an infographic poster about it. The goal of this exercise is to, first, to educate the readers about the chosen topic, and next is to encourage its readers to be responsible and contribute to achieving sustainable ecotourism. Among the six modules, what caught my interest the most is the third one, which is about ecotourism and the community. Ecotourism benefits local communities by providing jobs, business opportunities, and social projects. Many local communities, particularly those that rely on tourism, have lost their income as a result of the pandemic's limitations. But despite that, there are also opportunities from this crisis that can foster sustainable tourism development in local communities. Ecotourism is very significant to the local people. It affects the local economy and it further helps in resource conservation in the host community. Let us look into the details of my infographics. The main header is Ecotourism in the Community. This can easily grasp the attention of the readers of what the infographics is all about. The subheaders include host community, ecotourism in the local economy, ecotourism and resource conservation, respect for local cultures, and sustainable tourism. I have also included the list of references so that those individuals who wish to know more about the certain topic can easily go to the websites included in the infographics. First things first, we need to briefly introduce the definition of ecotourism so that even those people who haven't encountered the term yet can have a background about the topic we have in hand. The International Ecotourism Society defined ecotourism as irresponsible travel to natural areas that conserves the environment and sustains the well being of local people. In that simple and concise definition, it is clearly stated that both local communities and the environment can receive benefits from ecotourism. Next is the host community. They are a group of people who share a common identity such as geographical location, class, and ethnic background, which provide support services for tourism and may have involvement in its management. According to Murphy, the long term success of the tourism industry depends upon the acceptance and support of the host community. Moving on to the next one, of course, it is important to point out that there is a linkage between ecotourism and the local economy. Ecotourism helps in community development by providing an alternate source of livelihood to the local community, which is more sustainable. Development organizations see community based ecotourism as a potential source of economic development and poverty alleviation, particularly in marginal rural areas with limited agricultural potential. Aside from this, one more aim of ecotourism is to conserve resources, especially biological diversity, and maintain sustainable use of resources, which can bring ecological experience to the travelers. In fact, CBET or community based ecotourism is funded by environmental organizations as a method of minimizing local biodiversity threats. With approximately 190 countries and 7 billion people on Earth, it is not hard to imagine that many diverse cultures exist. When you travel with a sense of respect for the cultures and traditions you encounter, it shifts the entire travel experience. The World Travel and Tourism Council enumerated 4 ways to show respect for local cultures when you travel. First is to dress appropriately. Dress codes vary across cultures, and it is important to pack culturally appropriate clothes that fit with the tone of a place. Second, be mindful when taking photographs. It is necessary to always ask permission before photographing locals. Even a smile and questioning eyebrow raise is enough to communicate the question. Third, learn a bit of the local language. Learning how to greet and express thanks in the local language expresses a willingness to better understand the culture and the people. Last, but definitely not the least, adhere to the cultural etiquette, mannerisms, and superstitions. By researching appropriate gestures and traditions, we can show respect for the local culture. And hey, let me just remind you that as tourists, we should be mindful of how we travel and we should also be aware of our impact when we arrive at a destination. Actually, there are a lot of ways which can help us in practicing sustainable tourism, and I have included some here in my infographic. Let us read these statements all together, and I hope you can absorb all of it as I believe each one is self explanatory. Include sustainable tourism alternatives in your trip, support sustainable options in island destinations, support community based tourism and initiatives, respect the practices of locals, reduce your carbon footprint, take care of heritage places, go green at your entire trip, say no to illegal trade, and use reusable bags. Now, let me go back to the question I asked earlier before I introduced myself. Have you ever missed the life before the pandemic wherein you can freely travel anywhere you want to go? Although there are travel restrictions at present, I hope someday, when you go to places, you will practice sustainable tourism. I hope you gained something from my infographics and video presentation. Again, I am Cristina Dividad, reminding you to travel sustainably. Thank you so much for listening.